Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Thunderdog eSports Top Dog League. I believe this is week 7. I'll check on that later. But this is TheDannySaur alongside of Lore, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of King Sejong Station in the red trunks, we have Boreal's Tiger.
And in the upper left-hand corner of King Sejong, we have his opponent, the terrifying Terran from Gravity. It is BeaSt.
Pew pew! I brought in their names and made a pew pew sound. That's what that was.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I've been there for it.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I almost gave a roar after Tiger, but I was like, oh, maybe not. Let's not get too crazy.
Yeah, you might. You kind of want to practice that one before you introduce into the actual arena of things.
That's your mistake, because I practice that all the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Dude, don't you roar when you're walking around and doing stuff?
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe, baby.
Maybe. Well, we shall see, as we will have, for the first time, we can actually talk about the races. I just realized we didn't even say that much. So, Tiger, the Zerg player, versus the Terran BeaSt. And BeaSt is pretty good. To give you guys a small update, to give you kind of the shape of this game, Boreal is currently in 7th place, fighting to get into that top 4, and Gravity is tied for 3rd. So they're technically in, but it's only about 1 point differential, and there are only 2 weeks left. So 10 possible points, and thus far, a lot of games have been very, very split throughout the whole season. Lots of 3-2s, or 2-3s, depending on which one goes first. So you guys, this should be shaping up pretty well for the finals. I'd say Gravity, definitely one of the favorites looking to get in. They've been kind of one of our chronic teams who have been there a lot, alongside KLG will also be there. Boreal's kind of the new kid on the block, so that gives you a little bit of context surrounding the game.
Absolutely. Both of these teams still have a lot to play for, of course, but those playoff or those final spots are really becoming very, very real, and will solidify tonight and next week, as that is the last opportunity they will have. Getting into the game a little bit here now, we have an expansion and spawning pool now finished up for a Zerg player, Tiger, and he's going to be looking to get those expansions up and defend them well on this map, because this map, I gotta say, in this matchup, I think gravitates toward the Terran just a little bit due to the nature of these middle expansions and the way that players will be moving down through the middle of the map primarily as they begin to as the Terran begins to push forward with those never-ending mine marine pushes. Now, the good Zerg players are going to want to utilize the edges of the maps and the edge bases and be able to do some little bit of harass. Mutas are good on this map. There's a lot of places to get them in and out. So I'm just curious to see what we're going to have here as the bunker now completes for the Terran, and he is finishing up his looks like a reactor and his factory there.
Yeah, the bunker for the Terran is basically he has his blanket now. That's his security blanket. He feels safe and warm because the bunker is up, so he's feeling pretty good. And for those of you who don't know, Lore, I'm gonna brag about you a little bit, Lore. Lore actually designs maps fairly often. Recently, I believe in August, he was the 2nd place winner for Map of the Month on Team Liquid. So he does those things. So you hear him talk about maps a lot, and he knows things about maps.
I do dabble a bit in that. I do some stuff with galaxy mapping, and just kind of have some maps here and there. I'm probably going to be gearing up some more content lately, so TBD on that. But
nice.
Yeah, I always like to look at the maps and appreciate the effect that they do have on the matches.
And I'm thinking, Laura, that this is kind of heading right for kind of a longer game, as we see a 3rd command center coming down, 3rd base already down for our Zerg player. A little bit early on those, not hyper aggressive, but certainly I think both these players are looking for something a little bit longer form.
Yeah, you could definitely be right on that. I think the telling thing is going to be as far as what these Hellions are able to do. He is still pumping them out. The Roach War now being complete, though, kind of tends towards the idea that the Zerg is going to be able to expand here. The third base is still going to be vulnerable because that gap between the natural and the third is so long on this map, and there's a lot of area around the third base between the geysers and the minerals and so forth, and just kind of open on both sides for Hellions. But we'll see what he can get done here. He's got Queens and Roaches in position, so I think he should be able to defend this. Just going to come down to control.
Yeah, I mean, smartly here, I mean, BeaSt jumped in, and there's nothing there. There's nothing for him even to grab, and so with speed coming out for Zerglings and whatnot, he should be A-okay. He's gotten really, really nice creep spread, just so he's kind of got this whole highway figured out, so he can rush down there if needed. This probably won't get a whole lot done. I cannot possibly anticipate that he'll try to dart into the natural, although with 6, maybe gets a little something done, but the cost is too high, and denying creep like that is certainly going to pay dividends.
Yeah, I think these are creep control Hellions right now. He sees the number of roaches that are out. He's definitely not going to be able to get in and do a lot of damage unless something really goes strangely. But I do want to comment on these double upgrades from the Zerg already. Want to make sure that he does not fall behind in that category. 1-1 just now starting for the Terran. You know, in ZBT, it's so important to make sure that you don't fall behind, and it's important to make sure you're ahead of the Terran on upgrades, because a Terran that gets to 3-3,
scary.
Or even 2-2 if it's the appropriate timing. Yes, extremely scary for any Zerg player.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those hidden things, and ooh, these could get sniped. This is great positioning, just being able to get those free hits, and just pure harassment there is all that's good for, which is A-okay. A little bit taxing. But, yeah, I mean, you nailed it. Go ahead.
Almost 10 minutes into the game now, and the creep is barely outside the Zerg's base. These Hellions have done their job so far. A scan here could knock out a couple more tumors, deciding what he wants to do, but he's going to run in here to the mineral line. He's going to get some pickoffs.
Oh, 8 going down already. Can he get one more good one? No, but he's going to certainly get some Zerglings to take with him as a little bit of a prize, and yeah, certainly some good losses there. So total 8 drones, 11 Zergling for the cost of 1 Hellion. I mean, I'm not saying that that's great trading, but that's fantastic trading.
Yeah, that was really, really well done. He darted in just when the Zerg was lulled into a false sense of security. You know, he still needed to have the defenses ready and able to defend those Hellions, because they did survive the early game. He didn't overextend. He still had them. And he picked up 8 drones and about half the Zerglings that were on the map. Now, as we see some more skirmishes, as the Zerg will attempt to take their 4th base in this middle location. Looking at the Terran side of things now, we do see everything so textbook, like the number of barracks, the add-on timings, the medevac production. You know, the mines are coming out 2 at a time now. The 3rd base is established. This is exactly where the Terran wants to be at this point in the game, and BeaSt is executing this style flawlessly.
Yeah, absolutely, kind of nailed it. And speaking of those upgrades, currently the Terran started his right on time. The Zerg is up by a little bit. This skirmish going down. Wow, able to get the cancel. Wow, quite a lot going on, and able to get that Zerg 4th, excuse me, and he's pushing through here, and that's a good win for him. Kind of microing on a couple of different fronts here. As I was showing for most of that, the Hellions were doing a fantastic job. This creep, he is pushing this back. You can just tell this is one thing. This is exactly what he wants to do. He absolutely wants to keep this creep back. Look at all of the scans he's using. I mean, he's pushing this back tremendously. And look at how low everything is. He's going to pick it all up and get out of there. BeaSt is just playing beautifully. This creep spread is got to be so frustrating for Tiger. He wants this 4th base up, and you want a healthy creep highway getting there, and it's just not happening.
He has come into this game with the strategy of creep control, base control against his Zerg opponent. And, you know, regardless of all his skill, I will say this about BeaSt, perhaps the most remarkable thing is how down-to-earth of a player and a person he really is. But he's moving into the 4th again, and he's going to be able to pick it off. Doesn't get the cancel. Now mine's going to be burning there. He's going to be using this high ground as a launching pad for his aggression.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, he doesn't even necessarily need to push in particularly hard. Oh, what great little micro going back. Oh, and a big mine hit. The mine shot actually took out maybe more of his units. It really roasted all of those Marines going on. And he's landing pretty aggressively here. Oh, 2 mines going down. Boom and boom. Down go the Muta. So nice little trades there. And Zerg right now is just got to be so far out of his game plan and out of his timings. It's got to be super frustrating. The first misstep from BeaSt here, as he is going to lose some medevacs and things a little bit carelessly. But, I mean, by and large, he has been playing so well that Tiger, I was going to say, may not want to push into that too aggressively, but it looks like you commented on earlier, that 3-3 timing, neither player has started it. So we will have to see which one starts first and basically who's going to basically hold that lead for a little bit. Tiger had it for 40 seconds to begin, so you can certainly tell that it's gone down. And look at that block with the Marauders. Unbelievable. Great stuff.
Nice. Zergian's gotten away there too. The Banelings are getting this lovely Marine spreads going in both directions here. Looks like Tiger might be able to clean this up eventually here, but some more Marines surviving over here. Baneling's going to roll in and clean that up. Pretty nice splits and things like that. I think that the Banelings just kind of stayed alive a little too long. Maybe some target firing or something like that would help, but or a couple more mines. But the pressure's still on this base, and it's dropping rapidly.
Oh no, if he loses this base again, oh, it's just a GG!